If you're just starting out in guitar, the number of chords you need to learn can be pretty overwhelming, but the good news is you don't have to learn them all at once. In fact, if you start with just the 4 chords in this video, the G, C, D, and E minor chords, you might be surprised at the number of songs you'll be able to play. You do need to know how to read a chord diagram for this video. You might be able to figure it out just from watching me play these chords, but if you need some help, I do have a video on reading guitar chord diagrams. I'll leave a link for that in the description. The 4 chords we're looking at are G, C, D, and E minor. Here's your G chord, and we have 3 different ways we can play this. You can play this with fingers 1, 2, 3. You can play it with 1, 2, 3, 4. Some people call that the country G. And you can also play your G with fingers 2, 3, 4. However you finger it, a G is 6 strings, so strum all 6 strings. The C chord is 5 strings, so you're only going to strum 5 strings, and this is with fingers 1, 2, and 3. The D chord is 4 strings, so only strum the bottom 4 strings, and this is also fingers 1, 2, 3. The E minor you can play with either fingers 1 and 2, or 2 and 3. And the E minor is a 6-string chord, so you want to make sure you're strumming all 6 strings. After you're able to form these chords, of course you want to be able to connect them so you can use them in songs. That takes some practice, but you can speed up your chords with my 4-3-2-1 exercise. I put a video out on this a while back, so we're just going to go over this very briefly, but what you do is you pick 2 chords. I'm going to say the C chord and the D chord, and take a metronome, put it on quarter equals 60. What you're going to do is going to switch back and forth between the chords. You're going to hold each chord for 4 beats. So C chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, then D chord, 2, 3, 4, C chord, hold on to each chord for as long as you can, and then the D chord, 2, 3, 4, and then after you can do that, hold each chord for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Once you're comfortable doing that, you're going to want to switch between chords for 2 beats at a time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then finally, once you can do that, try 1 beat at a time. And do that with any 2 chords you want. You can also take advantage of common fingers and similar shapes to switch chords more smoothly. For example, the G and the E minor chord. If you play your G with fingers 1, 2, 3, and your E minor with fingers 1 and 2, then you can keep your first finger in that 2nd fret, 5th string, between both chords. Same if you're using that country G. That first finger is still a common finger. And if you're playing your G with fingers 2, 3, 4, then you can play your E minor chord with finger 2, 3, and now you have a 2nd finger in common on that exact same note. You also have a common finger between your country G and your D chord. Your 3rd finger is the same. So if you're using that particular G and you have to go to the D, keep your 3rd finger down. And then your G chord, if you're playing with fingers 2, 3, 4, and then your C chord, you don't have any fingers in common, but fingers 2 and 3 from the G chord only have to move 1 string down each to get to where they need to be for the C chord. So being aware of common fingers and similar shapes will really help you smooth out your chords. The reason these are good chords to start out with is that they work well together and you're going to hear them and play them in tons and tons of songs. So start with these 4 chords, the G, C, D, and E minor, and then just add more chords as you go. Of course, you need to learn some strumming and fingerstyle patterns to put those to use, so you might want to check out my video on first strumming patterns. And for more on chords and strumming patterns, check out my rhythm guitar books. I'll leave a link in the description. My rhythm guitar books focus on chords, strumming patterns, and fingerstyle patterns. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more guitar tips.